think that looks normal. Give me a moment. Hang on. That doesn't need to be on the stream. This 3DS is in the way. I don't know if that's the biggest deal ever. Close that. All right, GameMaker time. I'm going to sit on the exercise ball because it is slightly less squeaky. Okay. Since yesterday afternoon, as people start to join stream, I finished doing what I was doing yesterday. So hopefully that's the end of the long and arduousness. I have not tested any of it. Today is probably going to be a lot of running stuff and changing stuff until it builds. Enthralling, I know. If I run it now, it should produce the same error as last time because I haven't actually added any of the stuff. I haven't actually Ryangu, hello. I almost had the chat window hidden. I should not do that so I can actually see people. I haven't set any of this in motion in the game. I've just created the code for it. So that's what today is going to be. This is all, yeah, okay. In that case, I'm going to start here. And let's open up a new one of these. Let us begin with both of those. It should just be as simple as using the constructor now. Okay. That didn't take long. I see the problem here. Why is that not showing a result? Something's wrong with that filter. I think. I may need to change every single constructor that I wrote yesterday and this afternoon, this morning, whatever. Boy, I should have planned this out. I can probably move the 3DS a little bit that way again, because it's not in the way anymore. What is my life? Okay, so I will start by yanking this out. Name, internal flags, UID summary. Actually, no, I don't have to. I don't need to do any of that. First, let's get rid of the begin end, because that is as discussed as stop being funny. This in and of itself could be a lightweight object, but because it's probably going to be temporary, it's probably going to be temporary, so I'll just have it return instead. And there's probably going to be a better way to do that later. Alright, you know what? I can do this JavaScript style, right? JSON style. Pretty sure I can. How does the... This feels wrong, but I can do a JSON style. That is helpful to have. Because I don't I don't necessarily feel like defining an entire new class for something that's just going to be temporary anyway. That should be good enough. I should just be able to say now we're getting to the fun stuff. Temp name length. Copying the copying the file out into the temp folder. Sample rate. Loop start and loop end. I feel like those should be... Oh, you know what? That's not relevant to a sound effect. You can be 0 and 1, and I don't care. What about... Did I... Okay, yeah, that's gonna cause issues. Audio... Fmod itself. Okay, that is attempting to create on its own. So that's something I won't have to worry about. Alright, that may be good for that. And again, getting rid of a little bit of a unused code. I'll keep this around for reference. This is probably going to be similar. The BGM audio is probably going to be similar. The only difference being like loop start and end actual data. And then I can get rid of that because that is just a waste of space, slightly redundant. I can probably do the exact same thing up here for the initial stuff, right? Did I not copy? I guess not. No big deal. Header, temp name, loop start, loop end. Comes right after. Length, and then it creates the temporary file buffer. Do I even need that? Do I do that automatically for myself too? No, but I probably should. Oh no, wait, that I don't want to have to pass the buffer in to the constructor also, but so never mind that. Length, sample rate. And set loop mode, set loop points. Okay. I think again, that's all right, I think. The header stuff and the loop points. I hope that's all I need to do there. Name the arguments, because why not? Did stream just break? It says I've suddenly dropped a lot of frames, although it is not currently doing that. That could also be because I apparently had OBS recording and streaming at the same time for reasons unknown. Might have hit a key on the keyboard or something. Okay. It looks fine, I think. Alright, well, whatever. If it causes any problems later. No, I should probably turn off. It seems fine. That's good. That's a good sign. I should probably turn off desktop notifications from Google Chrome because that's rather annoying when I'm trying to do stuff with my computer screen. Can I just dump these in the same file? I won't do that now. I'll do that later. I'll do more cleanup later. Now I can F1 it and it will go to the correct place. Loop mode is also a special variable for certain things. That's probably also to do with sequences, isn't it? I have a feeling that's a sequences thing. I have not messed with Fmod in a while. God, I love try-catch. Okay. That means there are so many things I don't have to worry about checking to see if are correct before running this code. And if anything goes wrong, it'll just tell you, it'll just give you a notification that it didn't work. And that'll be that. I don't know what that third loop mode is for, besides normal and none. There we go. That's one. That's audio down. Did I... Okay, I guess I closed this. Meshes are also a thing. I guess I'll deal with the game data first. I still don't know if I want to even bother with the destroy events for resources because they're not going to be created or destroyed after the game has started. It's probably not... I could just chuck this in a destroy method or something. But that's probably not even worth the effort because I'm never going to actually do that. Alright, well, let's seek this out. I have a better idea. I'll just leave that part of the resource tree open. Next up. Here we go. There's only one of these. Name the arguments. This is going to be a little more involved. might as well just borrow that as well. Is that in a loop? Does that need to be in a loop? Can I just repeat? That would probably be easier, right? It's also a little more clear about what it's doing. Since the loop counter is never actually used, there's no real point in doing that. Okay. Like I said, this is a little more involved. And that's easier than doing it manually. That did not find and replace, apparently. This is going to be much of the same. Was that it? That was it, I think. YouTube. Is it connected again? It keeps doing that. Today doesn't seem to be a good day. For whatever reason. That's annoying. Okay. That doesn't need to be there. This is gonna have to change a bit. Actually, hang on. Let's object orient this a bit. This is so satisfying to do this the proper object-oriented way after how many years? I think that's all it needs to be. Again, I've said that about so many things. And, I've tested so little of it so far, but... you know, let's actually make a proper bounds. No, I won't. That won't actually... If I'm really feeling adventurous later, but... Not now. Also, a number of these could be proper 2D arrays now. Because 2D arrays no longer suck. Okay. This still feels kind of dumb, but I'll do some I'll do some more nuanced maintenance later on this. YouTube, stop sucking. Is it back? It was doing good before. I didn't change anything. I didn't change any settings since yesterday. Let's see if it comes back. It looks like it's coming back. Alright, please. I restarted OBS that time. Hopefully that's all it took. It is back. That's good for now. I hope it stays back. Oh my god. We're off to a good start today. There are some temporary spikes from time to time. As long as... I guess while I'm here, sitting for it, waiting for it to reconnect, it feels a lot longer, but I hope it's less of a problem than I think it is, the connection issues. Ideally, they won't be at all. Ideally, whatever I did, restarting OBS would just be all it took, but that remains to be seen. If it's back for you though, Strudelback, that's a good sign though. We'll see how it plays out. 3D arrays. How do you initialize a... I guess... I don't have to do any more silly nonsense with grids anymore, huh? This isn't as scary as it looks. This is like it's a triple nested for loop. Well, for deep loop really because of this one, but this will be like a bounds of like 3 by 3 by 1 most of the time at maximum. So that will hopefully not be that scary. Let us... Do I actually need... I won't worry about that now. I was going to say, I don't know if I need the second list to go with the lookup table, but that's a bit of a minor issue right now. The stream hasn't crashed yet, I think. It's been like 3 minutes since I restarted it. That's probably good. This indentation looks wrong. No longer. All right. Now there's the matter of this. And when I get around to updating the editor, that's going to be a lot more. That's going to be even more pulling my hair out than this because there's just going to be more of it. But for now, JSON style. Is that the correct? That looks correct. Okay. At the end of that, for God's sake. I saw it stutter for a moment. And then it said I dropped a bunch of frames. Hang on. Can I turn down my bitrate slightly? While barreling down the highway at full speed. Alright, well I lowered the bitrate slightly and hopefully that will make the connection more stable. This is just code, this isn't gameplay, it shouldn't need to be super high. Although while I'm here, not that much. While I'm here, I'll increase the text size a bit. Come on, internet. Anyway. This will also need to be updated. I might as well fold that into the object-oriented a bit. Make it a method. Got some things to do. Perhaps another time. Okay. Have a nice day. Oh, God. I'm very bad at goodbyes. It crashed again. More briefly this time, I noticed, I think. Whenever I look at the computer screen with the stream on, it looks like I'm stretching my neck in a very funny way because of where the camera is. Alright, come again soon though. I don't know if Strudelbach is still here, but I'm so out of it today. What did it take? Buffer on the proto. Okay. These. And that should all hopefully be garbage collected. These. Can I F1 the method and go there? No, not really. Dynamic code. Okay, this is another... Yes, Ratchet, just in time. I'm converting 3D model loading code from old GameMaker to new GameMaker. A bit of a forewarning, by the way. Stream crashing has been a thing that has been happening today, more often than I really would like it to. So if that happens, I'm sorry in advance. I will try to notice quickly. But other than that, yes, vertices. Vertices are fun. Vertices make the world go round. Is this got unsaved changes? That does no longer have unsaved changes. Have I... Okay, that is not a lightweight object yet. I should make that one. There's not a whole lot to it. I can get rid of that without too much risk, probably. I don't actually know if I need to keep the original buffer around, by the way. I'll do it for now. I know why it was there in the first place to begin with, but I don't know if it's still something that is important right now. So I'll pretend it is and check back later. I wonder how many, I wonder how many instance deactivates I can just get rid of. All else. all else not considered, just because of the fact that that lightweight objects are a thing now. It is, right? It's like this is what I've been like fantasizing GML to look like for how many years now? I dug back in my my customer support history for my GameMaker account, and in like 2015, I submitted a feature request about this back when I was young and stupid, and I thought that was a thing they would do because of some idiot sending in a feature request. And now it's 5 years later, and it's actually here. That's like the weirdest thing ever. Why is this not syntax highlighted? I'll assume that's a bug with IntelliSense because I don't see any like floating punctuation anywhere where they should be. Hang on, wait. Did I make any changes to this? I did. That's actually my code, not part of the actual SMF system. So that's something that can go. Okay, there may be further issues with this that I have yet to discover. I will discover them as I go. I am changing all kinds of code without testing today. That's exactly what constitutes a good idea. I do not have a glass of water next to me. I should probably get that. SMF, that is, I'm currently not, but it is part of the whole system in case mesh animations are something that is that are used. I was experimenting with it a little while ago, and it's actually astonishingly easy to just slot into an existing project. And it's not really interfering with anything else because Cinder is smart and created it as its own self-contained system that isn't a bunch of spaghetti, the way I probably would have, so it has been isolated to mesh loading and drawing. What was I looking for? Data, load, or something? Oh, did I, hang on, where is the game data loading? I do not know the answer to this. You'd hope that I do. I mean, okay. The asset browser is not doing its job today. Speaking of which. No, that is game loading. That is not data loading. Where did I put it? Did I move it to somewhere else by accident? Type selection, is there... Where are the filters? No. It should be just finding anything. I'd like to actually know where that script is though, so I can delete it. This wasn't happening before. Yeah, I know. GameMaker? No? Is there something I hit by accident? Let's create. Are there like funny symbols or something that I... They're just not appearing. We can always go the nuclear option. See where it is in the actual project file. It says it's just in the scripts folder. Oh wait, no, that is not where it lives. Okay, no, that's not how this works. Select script name and click using mouse middle. It does, that's like you can, if I had one here, I could F1 or mouse middle click, but my middle mouse button is broken and it would open it, but I need to find it in the resource tree because I want to delete it. Did something get broken somewhere? Should I just reopen the project? Would that fix it? It is buffering again. Now YouTube is complaining that the stream bitrate is too low instead of too high. God's sake, YouTube. Can I move this 3DS somewhere else so that it doesn't look, so that I'm not like looking into it weirdly? Let's see if just restarting it helped. Alright, well it's coming up in searches, which is a good first step, but it's still not... Alright. Seriously, GameMaker, I want to delete these files. Let me delete these files. If I really do just go into the project folder and delete it from here, will that cause any issues? In Windows Explorer, we'll just know what to do with that. I can git revert if I have to. All right, well, Windows is also deciding to suck. Just like my internet, apparently. Why were you not finding this, Windows? Why is nothing finding this? I want to get rid of that, and that. Which is like nothing, but I don't want it to clutter up the project. Resources have been deleted. Let's get rid of that. I do want to save changes. That's why I have source control. Okay, is it going to turn back on its own, or do I have to do it manually? I don't know if that's a... Like, I don't know if I hit a key on the keyboard or something that would hide certain files, or if that's an actual bug that I need to report. I'll write it down. I have written down a number of bugs to report on the update. What was it? Was it all of the loading code that vanished? Because that will certainly make things interesting. Okay, cool. I don't know why this isn't a real webcam. This is my Nintendo 3DS being used as a webcam. I don't know why it keeps freezing like that. I don't know how worried I should be. that it'll like do that when I'm actually trying to record something off my 3DS that isn't the top screen of the camera. Huh. Where was I? Alright, I will investigate that later. I'm sorry that you had to watch me write notes on a piece of paper out of view for a minute. Like this is that's still valid. That's not one of the ones I was worried about. The other ones though. Yeah, okay, those are gone. I think. Been able to get away with deleting a lot of stuff. I still don't know why this is not being syntax highlighted. It may be... Are those local variables elsewhere? Or rather, not why this one isn't, but why these are, because these are not. Is it because it thinks that these are local variables and they apply to something out of scope or something? Should I be a little more discriminating about that? It's frozen again. Come on. It looks like it's back, I hope. Why me? Alright, well, anyway. That should be all I need for these, at least right now. Technology is not on my side today. I at least want my commit messages to sort of look like each other sometimes. Alright, what next? Images. Images are going to be fun. And by fun, I mean there's a lot of them, so probably not. The font size decreases every single time every single time the IDE restarts. Can I use X and Y as local variables now? It would be nice if I can use X and Y as local variables now. Okay, so how am I going to want to go about greetings. I think that's only got one frame of animation. For now. Did I remember to... Yeah, yeah. Because if the data argument is not a truthy value, then it just it won't do any of that, which is what I want. As opposed to passing it the version number in place, which is a truthy value, which will cause bad things to happen. There's nothing else I need to do with this, right? Besides name the arguments. The other image loading scripts are going to be similar. Not precisely sure how similar. Apparently there was another mini episode of stream lagging, which I did not notice. Come on, YouTube. There's a bunch of other various... This is the same. There's a bunch of other various... image loading sections that do basically the exact same thing. The indentation is annoying me. The indentation has to be correct. Otherwise it's going to annoy me. That is slightly different. That is slightly different. These are... Is that actually even... Oh, no, it is. That's very different anyway. And... Yes. Oh, but yes, thank you for reminding me. You probably had someone pull in a fast one on you. Sorry, not to be mean. I've consulted some professional developers and yeah. You probably have had someone pull in the wool over your eyes. Thank you for reminding me. Among other things, like, Java had only just barely come out when Pokemon Red and Blue did, and to, one, create a transpiler from Java Virtual Machine to Game Boy, original Game Boy / Game Boy Advance hardware is within a year, and develop a game for it at the same time. You should probably be a little bit more discriminating where you get your information from on the internet. I could Photoshop something together, put it in a zip file, change the date, change the timestamps, and call it a leak, and that doesn't mean it's a leak. Food for thought, I guess. Where was I? I'll start with... 1995. Yeah, like, hang on. Red and Blue came out in 96. Not yet. Red and Blue came out in 96. There is no way that anyone, let alone... Game Freak was a small team at the time either. They weren't like what they are today. They did not write a Java bytes code to assembly, transpiler, and make a game at the same time within that time span. Among all the other reasons of why would you even want to do that. But that's more of a matter of opinion. Alright, Jinxie, you're just proving my point now. This can also probably be a method. This is going to take a while. I kind of want to ditch the shadows because it doesn't look that great and it slows the game down considerably. Alright, I'll clean that up soon. Do I want to clean it up soon or do I want to clean it up now? I want to do everything now, but I've got to pick an actual order to do things in. Some of this... Alright, that's good. Alright, fine, I'll do it now. It's not alphabetized. Let's see. Yes, it is. The amount of work that people can and will go to make a massive joke is impressive sometimes. And that's not even like... This is the same batch that those sprites come from, right? They still look cool. They still have merit on their own. It's just like, they're not... They're overwhelmingly not what it's being peddled as, which is... Right. Which is somewhat less cool. There are like two functions inside here, and that's redundant. But yeah, if someone makes a bold claim about technology or honestly anything, you should learn to question things a little bit. And yes, Ratchet those. I spent a little bit of time on the internet yesterday after stream looking at them, but not a great amount because I, 1, went back to doing this, and 2, spent like 6 hours playing tower defense games again. Instead, because that's a thing that I apparently do with my time. Gen 2. I feel like there's gotta be a better way to do this stuff with the vertex buffers here, but I'm a bit too lazy to work that out. Also, for the sake of not doing something 16 times when it could be done once. Precisely, Ratchet. These are all local variables. I feel like it's a bit redundant to do this twice for 2D and 3D. It's another thing. I should just whip out a Windows sticky note or something like that. I would use actual paper for this, except I'm probably going to lose it. You know, now I'm going to have a million sticky notes all over the place. I'm going to just use regular paper. That is full. Oh, I know why that was in the inner part of the loop. Oh, no I don't. That's dumb. It's the same value anyway. What's even... Okay, these are identical. I'm just going to write down a lot of question marks regarding the sprite vertex buffers here, because that's about how I feel about them right now. Let's also remember that like Java in the mid-90s when it first came out was not the same Java that we have today. It was a lot less functional, let's say. I believe between like Java 2 and 3 they made a bunch of changes to the language features. So it also wasn't the it wasn't something that you'd really want to use unless you wanted to use the Java virtual machine. Is this... Oh, I see I left a comment about this. That's cool. Thank you, past self. They're not a huge amount of memory. They're 40 bytes times 6 vertices is 240 times 16 images. About 4 kilobytes, 8 kilobytes, 16 kilobytes if you count both 2D and 3D, shadowed and non-shadowed. I liked Java until I discovered C#. And then I said C# is like Java except without 99% of the headaches, so I like C# now. I won't say I mind Java, but it's a little bit clunky in a lot of ways. I hope I can't help shake the feeling that I accidentally like deleted something that I wanted. But I don't know what that might be. C# is Java plus C. Yeah, basically. Well, C# is definitely the C family of languages. It does things in the manner of C++. It's got like the inheritance notation. Instead of saying extends or implements as you would in Java, it's just a colon and a comma to create a list of things that you implement. And there's some other things. Define as a preprocessor that Java just doesn't have. It does actual constants a little bit more nice, I think. I can't remember if there's any... I might be confusing this with another language if constants in C# are different from they are in Java. Laziness, mostly. Java is, or at least was, universal in schools. I don't really know if it still is. C# is... I forget when I started using C#. It might have been when I started screwing with Unity, or... I forget if I did anything else with it. But yeah, for a long time, C# with me was like, yeah, that's another language, probably. People say it's like Java, but nicer, but And then I used it for whatever reason it was, and then it was definitely like Java but nicer. Like by a lot. And here we are today. Alright, I'm gonna keep staring at this forever unless I just move on and deal with the bugs later, so I'll just move on and deal with the bugs later. That takes no parameters, right? Because it's just a self-contained sort of thing. I probably can close these now, right? Minecraft modding, that was definitely a big one. I've met a few people over the years who hold that thought for 2 seconds. Anyway, yeah, I've met a few people over the years who were introduced to Java and often, by extension, programming in general through Minecraft modding. And later on through modding of other games like Skyrim or whatever. You do not care about sprite frames. Do Battler? No, Battlers are drawn in a different manner. Similar, but they're not They're not pre-rendered to vertex buffers. I see there has been more stream lag in the last 10 minutes. There it goes. Alright, that was only like half a second. I see there has been more stream lag. Is someone else, like, watching a movie downstairs or something? And is that why this is just... the internet's just not having it today? I probably shouldn't turn around like that, because I feel like that's going to screw up my audio. Are animation frames used anywhere? Actually, I don't even know if they are. Ooh, I just realized. It doesn't actually... I'm definitely going to want to actually assign the actual sprite to the image that I'm loading. Because if that's not there, then the whole operation's a waste of time. And I'm gonna have to do that in every single one that I already closed. I don't remember which one I already closed. That is another file that can be deleted. I can't cycle through tabs with Shift Tab. Okay. What am I doing with square root of 2? If you mean in here or whatever, stop. Or whatever it was, rotating stuff. Yeah, these are UVs. These are... I couldn't be bothered to... Although I probably should be, honestly. It would save a little bit of time. I couldn't be bothered to create an NPC sprite, or vertex buffer, mesh, whatever. think it's 32. If I was to do this the proper way, it would be something like this. And rotate it around the x-axis 45 degrees. Something like that. And then the texture would be mapped onto it, but I couldn't be bothered to do that for 16 sprite frames. So here we are, doing this the long way. Someday I might go and clean it out, but that day is not today. Yeah, square root of -2 is just triangles, Pythagorean theorem, and that sort of thing. They're not the rotation value, well, sort of. They're 3 points. These in particular are the normals. Actually, yeah, those are the normals. Those aren't the actual points. I still feel like I should be annoyed that these are essentially the same vertex buffers duplicated twice, but that's I've got bigger things to worry about. Like everything here. For example, that's already done. Oh no, it's not. Because I have several image loading scripts that do similar things. I should probably standardize these at some point. Just so that I don't have all this duplication nonsense. Tile sets are a bit of a special case. I'll worry about those later. One of these days, I'll just get rid of these bit get set functions and just do bitwise operations like a normal person. Were these even being properly loaded the first time around? Why did I control X that? Not what I meant to control X. And okay, I think that's the loss of the images. So now, since it's evaporated from the hierarchy, load image overworld vertex buffers, and that's going to ask me about that. Is it going to close GameMaker again on me? No, maybe not. Okay, that's nice. Saves me a bit of time. Having named script arguments is so nice. There are so many things that I've been saying are so nice. Do I need I think this is another holdover from like a year ago when I was doing this and it was designed slightly differently. It's another thing I want to get rid of before never. Internet. Glaring at the drop frames counter on OBS suspiciously. Oops. No, wait, help. This feels like something I probably should have designed better also, but whatever. Tile set create. Okay, so that itself is just a wrapper for this. Tile set create master. That's a big mass of spaghetti. Yeah, it just returns the ID. So that's its own like bad-ish proto constructor. Oh wait. Okay, so that does not use the, because of the said warning at the top. Are those used? They should be, but alright, that's another grid. Why is there a regular name and a TS underscore name? Does this need to inherit from regular image? I feel like maybe it doesn't. For the sake of consistency, let's go with calling that. Maybe I should have just called that a sprite to begin with and not picture, but I can object orient this. Right? What does this return if it's an invalid sprite index? I feel like there should be like information on exceptions in the documentation for if you try to return an invalid, get the texture of an invalid sprite or something. I think it'll reject it. All right, using multiple nice things about GameMaker in one place here about the GML update. Because if you try and draw something with a -1 texture, it'll just not use the texture. Syntax highlighting has broken, apparently. Is that good? Create tile set image. I've already forgotten what the method is called. Okay, I think that might be all for images. I'm gonna try and run the game now. It's almost certainly gonna explode spectacularly, but I think all the naming conflicts are gone. I don't think I've got any... Events might have a naming conflict. Anyway. No. Data image and data tile set can go. This will be fine. Is the camera frozen again? The camera froze again. Although, oops, that's the snipping tool. Less awkwardly than last time. Does it just do that if it's in the background for a certain amount of time? The battery on the 3DS does not seem to be draining, which is nice. I've had it not plugged in all of yesterday and all of today. And the light is still green. Alright. Am I feeling brave enough to run the game now? Before I do that, I can stop using DS grids for this. Chained array axis for the win. That will surely cause some issues later on when I'm trying to look up a grid, but when there is no grid to be looked up. Probably, eventually, I'm just going to get rid of the DS grid entirely. And just, I'm just going to get rid of the DS grid entirely and just use 2D arrays for everything in its place. I was using grids because 2D arrays used to be really annoying. That is no longer the case. What are U, V, W, and H for? Those feel redundant with those other ones, but I'll leave them there for now. How many lines of code am I down to? This is not... I feel like this is not accurate. What happens if I use Seabass's thing? Seabass's thing is somewhere in here, right? That's the new one. This is Seabass's thing. I don't even know if this will still work with new GameMaker. I think all it does is recursively search the file system for GML files. Nope, that's apparently accurate. 41806. It's about 1,000 lines less than when I first imported. Again, it feels like I should be down to less than that, but actually I've duplicated a lot of code in these, so that could account for some of it. All right, let's see what else is gonna go wrong now. Cannot redeclare built-in variable. Is that X and Y? That's X and Y. Okay, so I can't totally have nice things. At least not yet. I wish X and Y were just like suggestions instead of really built-in variables. That's a different error. That could be a different error due to errors that already existed, but inheritance call is not constant or use arguments passed to function. Am I not allowed to say sprite get width, sprite get height? Can I just zero those? It seems to have, okay, no. Oh yeah, that's a regular syntax error. That is not new, that is not specific to new GameMaker. That is just me forgetting to put an argument in a script function, built-in function. Really still? Oh, there's more? Where else was I using it? I don't need that. If this works, if I'm onto new errors, new ways of breaking things after this, I will commit again as a cleanup thing. All right, well, we seem to have gotten farther. We seem to be done with the naming conflicts. And that is not working because of reasons. Fmod error file not found. Although that could be because it kicked out before it actually did any of that. Line 56. Why do I have the animation thing open on the side over here? Whatever. Since this has been such an adventure, I may actually leave my editor program in. Interesting. I may leave my editor program in old GameMaker 2 for a while while this is being ironed out. This should be. That should just be type. We've advanced a little here. We're beyond the realm of like syntax errors, and we're getting into the area of variables not found. If I had the yo-yo compiler, I could use that as a bit of a linter to find those before they become a problem, but I do not have that set up currently. Okay, that is getting into drawing before it broke. Okay, I'll consider that a separate problem. Also, this might be slightly more elegant. To just return out of the function there. Okay. That is audio and images and meshes, which are kind of sort of images. The more fun stuff. Also, is it still giving me fmod errors? It is. All right, let's take care of the fmod errors. Because that's another thing that I might as well deal with now rather than later. Okay, so those appear to be valid files. Yes, go away. Are these okay? Beautiful, thank you, Windows. Are these existing? Is the camera still working? It is. That's something at least. 53039. Those files definitely exist. Oh, you know what? That's because it is not necessarily looking in the GameMaker program directory. Oh god, what's the folder name? It would be... I can't remember which one it is. It's one of these variables. How did I already do it before? Okay, that's just a macro. Oh, that's convenient. I thought ahead for once. Sort of. Does the temp name include the audio backslash? YouTube, stop buffering. I don't even know if that's like YouTube to blame or my internet or both. I will do a speed test after this, actually. I can do that just like right now. Are we gonna load? Did I actually change something that would cause it to hang? Is trying to append that to it, causing it to break? These are not the issues I was expecting to encounter today, but for whatever it's worth, I was expecting a wide variety of issues to pop up, so who can say? No, it is still breaking, and I am not doing anything differently other than printing out the name of the temporary folder. Let's try cleaning the compile cache. And it's going to go through all the shaders, of which there are quite a number of. Exactly, what's it doing there? Because the shaders should be compiled at runtime for the user specific graphics card. Is it putting them in an intermediate form or something? It's a question worth finding out, I guess. Let's see if this can get rolling in less than a minute. Warnings, 60. Okay. A clean compile takes more than a minute. I should probably think about getting rid of some of the shaders that I don't need. Should I be worried? About sequences, I have not done a formal thing about sequences. I just did the testing, but you're welcome. Several people have asked me about them, so that is probably something that merits me researching and actually doing things about. If you found them useful, that's good though. The game starts. This isn't the same Windows issues as before, but it's not. What on earth did I change? Is there something wrong in the temp directory all of a sudden? What CPU? A i5-7400. It's not especially exciting, but it gets the job done. Why is this suddenly taking like forever to delete a bunch of files? Right after I said it gets the job done too. I'll restart the IDE again while I'm at it. If nothing else, I'll go do the step-by-step breakpoint debugger thing and see where it stops. That's always a fun adventure. Okay, really though, why are we having a hard time deleting one file? No. Goodbye. Really? I will use... I'm in the right folder, right? Yeah, good. Goodbye. Is there something wrong with the audio that's loaded in here? It's not open in anything, is it? The fmod process isn't still running or anything, is it? A thread exit or an application. Oh, that was Control C. Usually, if it's still open by some process or another, it would tell you, though. Where's the... I forget if the resource monitor tells you if the thing is open or not. It's like there isn't a ghost game running in the background, as far as I can tell. Interesting. They're gone now. Let's see if there was just some random corrupted audio file that was causing it to break. I don't know if I should say I hope that's it or not. Because if it is, that would be a massive pain to find out what caused it. And if it isn't, that means I'll have to keep looking to see why it wasn't working. Okay. That makes me a little nervous. I guess there was a corrupted audio file in there or something that was causing it to just hang instead of throw an error. It was not actually doing this. It did not seem to actually hit that point. Alright, well, I know what it's trying to find anyway. I'm not sure why it was working in the first place with all that said. What was the original? What was the original here? The original load audio script. Oh, it wasn't using... Huh. That would explain it. How is it really... Do I need to get the app data folder exactly? I feel like I don't. Let's just get rid of that maybe. That's a bit of a mess. Oh, I know why it was there, though. That was for the benefit of fmod. Alright, it's got the 2 backslashes. Let's try now. I should not do that while there's a microphone on. That was that was causing a naming conflict with something else. Inside scribble. What do these even say? Those are like gone before I can actually read them. Alright, well, audio is playing. I don't know if you can hear that. Game audio is playing now. Cool. No more useless printouts, and fmod is loading. Next order of business. What should the next order of business even be? I'm hoping that this is not... These probably need a destructor. Oh no, that is a movement route, not an event page. Which one was the event page? I can read. Was that an entity? Event page, here we go. Hey, event pages don't even have move routes attached to them now. Do they? That's probably all unneeded code now. It looks really weird to... I've only been doing this for 2.5 days, and it looks really weird to look back at projects in pre-2.3 now. I feel like this is a bigger change than between GMS 1 to 2. At least their GML looked like GML. Now the language looks mostly different. That is a little bit of a text overflowing. There is no more autonomous movement data attached to event pages. Alright, I don't need that anymore then. There's nothing else in here? Maybe? Alright, that is missing also. I have seen a lot of scripts go missing. Create instantiated event. Name is the only thing it takes. It should probably... I might as well let it know what... Not what I wanted. I might as well let it know what entity it's parented to. And the rest of the stuff will get defined later, but... Actually, event trigger and the event entry point might as well also. All right, that's handy. event pages have been simplified a bit. They should probably be just automatically added to entities, right? To the entity that they belong to. As established, we can use self like this. Greetings, Jaleco. Stream has been experiencing issues with like internet bitrate all afternoon, so I hope well, if and when bad things happen, I'm sorry in advance. I don't know if the internet's just having a slow day, or if YouTube is having a slow day, or if I said I would speed test just to see what happens. I feel like it's gonna crash in about 10 seconds. There was one day a few weeks ago when the internet as a whole was like really slow for no apparent reason, like kilobits per second. Like dozens of kilobits per second, as in like dial-up speeds. I never found out why. It should be okay. But YouTube is still complaining. Food for thought, though. Anyway, as the text at the top of the video says, I am currently updating a lot of stuff and running into and typing stuff until the errors go away and are replaced with new errors. I think I can get rid of that though now. Let's move that to the side. Currently the matter at hand is cutscene events. Always a fun time. YouTube, shut up. It's giving me this lovely yellow banner telling me that there's an encoding error, but as far as I can tell, there isn't. So in addition to some internet problems, sometimes there are internet problems that actually aren't, which is just as confusing. What did I call it? Conversation. Is it safe to assume that an event is enabled until proven otherwise? It might be simpler to do that. Yeah, let's assume that an event is enabled until proven otherwise. Until it's like explicitly disabled, that is. Alright, it is now that simple. I wish I'd made it that simple to begin with. One function call. To be honest, I probably don't need this in the editor either, but I don't feel like dealing with it right now. What is that? Control what goes to find line? Control G goes to line. That's handy. I wish I knew about that before. Okay. Here is a case where I will assign the enabled variable directly. Is it even important that the actually, I guess it is. Header.name. I'm almost positive the other stuff, the ID and the internal name, are not relevant to event pages whatsoever, though. There are two. There are two sections of Boolean variables read out of this, and I don't know why. That is very redundant. Are there actually? Okay, good job, future self. I mean, past self. I will deal with that some other day. That was the right order, right? Yeah. There are some other things. Trigger and entry point are used. These are all. What is condition code by default, by the way? An empty string. This could probably be, just for the sake of not having a million variables floating around, this could probably be a field, bit field. Again, though, future self. I'll do that later. That will not get in the way of any sort of... Like, these things... These things still need to be what they are now, because these are not a bunch of booleans. But if I could have 5 variables instead of 8, I'll do it. Or 9 or whatever it is. I think that's it for now. That is assigning all of the trigger conditions. I should probably just put those notes up here. Also that, yeah. I'll make a note to get rid of that second set of booleans as well, because that's kind of pointless. It's really not a lot of reason to have it. I continue to drop frames. I think that's it for this, though. Are there any more? Is that the last one? That's the last one. And I can just delete create instantiated event now. Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's going to do this song and dance. All right, let's see what goes wrong this time. If it gets to the point where it starts playing the music, that's a good sign. Because that is where some other things that I refactored start coming into play. There's a thing on my finger. Object error. Object error is an interesting construct. Not one that's relevant to here. That is an error handler so that certain sorts of things gone wrong are a little bit neater than others. I'm glad it still works with the new resource tree. It's kind of a GameMaker hack. Alright, meshes are loading. And the music is playing. Okay. You know what? Where is that coming from? Because if I can track that down... Let's ignore comments, shall we? The one I'm looking for... I think this one? Since I made that a method. I haven't dropped any frames in like a minute. Let's try and keep it that way. Please, internet. That's... Isn't that what I just changed? Or is that a different one? Oh, that's battle texture. Oh. How about we... How about we remove a little bit of code duplication here? This looks horrendously JavaScripty. But I don't care because it should work. What is active map tile set? Oh, that's dumb. That's like trying to cache one variable lookup operation. That's pointless. If nothing else because I summon it in like every single draw call, but... Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't actually expecting it to get to the point of being able to walk around. I suspect trying to move, yeah. Trying to move will break everything. You know what? Just for the sake of some variety, let's look at fixing that. I know where that problem came in. And that is because I changed a DS grid to a 2D array, a proper 2D array. Were there others? There were some other things that were similar to that, like mesh collision flags. While I'm at it, I will do this properly also. Oh my god. This is something else. Entirely. Entity XYZ. And that's it? Let's see if I'm allowed to move around now. I changed a lot of stuff. I'll be completely floored if it's still working. There's more stuff to change, obviously. All of the other data types, but that will be a nice start. I wasn't expecting to get it running until basically everything was in. Alright, so you're gonna give me that little introduction. I can walk around now. I can collide with stuff. Wow. I was expecting this to drag on for a lot longer. I'm guessing... Oh, wow. Events even work still. When the word shift in this font looks like she's saying something very different. With the little f being slightly small compared to some of the other letters. Okay. Nice. How many lines of code am I down to? Have I broken below 41,000 yet? Almost. Wait, no. Help. That total went up. Okay. I probably duplicated a script somewhere. Events. Where are events used? No, not there. Okay, where is this used? Okay, that is a lot of initialization. I should change the... Alright, let's have a look at that. This is going to... All it takes is a name and some data. Why was I copying that out of the argument array instead of just art whatever? If the ID is undefined, we'll just generate a new one. Is the easiest way of doing that. Just to get rid of a few dozen lines of code, at the very least. I'll also say if the internal name is not defined. Why is this? Oh, double equals. There we go. If the internal name is an empty string, oh, it already does that. If it's an empty string, it just won't do anything. So these are mostly anonymous now. Also, it was letting me... This is a naming collision, and it's still letting me do it. It was still running the game. That's unusually nice of them. Alright, this is all in world create. Look good. There are two regions here. Is that by design? That's by design. All right, let's event node custom can go, and this is probably, yep. Gonna have to do that the long way. It's nice that the file watcher itself does its job. It's just sometimes everything else that doesn't. Just to check. Yeah, this is... These really should be lightweight objected themselves later. Inheritance call is not a constant. What are you talking about? Yes, it is. Alright, you know what? That doesn't even need to extend, though. Does that even need a name? I'm pretty sure that has... Oh, wait. No, it doesn't need an ID since it's already slotted into an index in the array. Okay. We should be good to go. Load event custom. Oh, right, that was the other one. Do one other place that did this. Is that good? That looks like it should be good. I've learned not to count my chickens before they hatch, but... Good. Let's name the arguments. Always important. Let's think about indentation a little. Outbound nodes not needed by the game. Okay. I have been doing this for 2.5 hours. This has been a more productive 2.5 hours than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be a lot more like yesterday's 2.5 hours. I forgot something, didn't I? Where was the error? Load events. Alright, this is looking like it's going to have caused a ripple effect somewhere else. Line 92-ish minus like 5. Oh. That's interesting. So it does need an ID. It does need to extend data after all. It complained about something regarding no... Yeah, that's a little odd. Is that better? Array length is now just 1 automatically. Conditional operators are legible. Hopefully just skipping all the work that didn't need to be done will fix the problem. Those are my favorite solutions. When you just don't need to do any of the work that you were trying to do in the first place. What was that on my finger? Still could not... Same problem. I have a feeling it's going to be spitting out undefined coming from somewhere. Did I mess up, yeah, 2 and undefined. What are the event node types? Zero, 1, 2. Okay, so... Oh, okay, that is coming from... That is being sourced from somewhere else. That is simply a case of if it's not going to let me just give default parameters here, either undefined or empty string, I don't know which one it was complaining about, but I'll just pass it in. Because sometimes it'll be used in some instances of creating a node type. Oh my god. This was the sort of issue I was expecting to happen. Really? Which one was it? Internal names? That can now be undefined. Internet. It is stuttering. Should I seriously lower the bitrate like extremely far and see if that fixes it? Variable index is out of range. That is a large number. I feel like there may be a incorrect data type being read out of somewhere. Where did that come from? Load events? Up here. I think after this I'll call it because I am talking tired voice thing, and it has been more than 2.5 hours now. I do want to get it working again though. I want to get it back to the point where the game can load and you can walk around. And I'm sure the database is all sorts of screwed up internally, but just getting the game to load would be nice. Control global switch is where it's breaking now. I don't know why it should be. Unless there's some kind of mismatch somewhere, which I don't think there is. Is there something going on by accident? I will look at those SMF warnings eventually, really. Okay. Are we running up against the end of the event and it's trying to read something that's not there? Is that why? The one before that was, what, 105? That really should be its own lightweight object, but whatever. Control global switch is 105. Oh, this is alphabetized. This. There is a... Okay, so there's one before that. That's probably not being read properly. I don't know how it would not read that one properly, go to the next one and then break, but... Oh, the reason that the choose node is not showing up here is because it is a it's a different case in the switch statement. That line is never running. The printout's never running. That doesn't solve the mystery though. Oh god, I'm getting tired. What was after that? 3DS battery light is flashing. Give me a moment. Is it back? It is back. Sort of. Alright. That's the ceiling. This is gonna fall. That's a window. Alright. Buffer data type is sort of... They're the IDs for the universal IDs for everything that I generate. Where was I? It seems like the switches aren't being read properly suddenly. Right now, what is buffer data type? I think it's a string. Yeah, it's a string. So the actual contents would be something like ducks colon 012 ABC or something like that. It's whatever goes into the global switch is the one I'm suspicious of. It's whatever goes into the into the like lookup table, hash map, whatever of the database, so that other things can refer to it in constant time. Did I seriously like lose something here though? It is a single integer and a single boolean. There shouldn't be anything else going wrong there. There's not much else to go wrong. Like this is index like 1 or whatever, and that's a boolean. Should I just try catch this whole thing? That would just defer the problem to somewhere else, right? I should probably not try catch the whole thing. That would very much be the incorrect use for try catch. But it's here, so I can do it anyway. I'm pretty sure that would just defer the problem to somewhere else. There is no such thing as a correct use for a language feature. Ratchet, I like the way your mind works. It is, Yo-Yo gives you the tools. It's up to you to decide how to use them, I suppose you could say. Okay. Control global switch has undefined argument types, apparently. Why would that be? Is it getting? It's not getting reassigned somewhere, is it? That would be extremely annoying and stupid. It doesn't look like it's getting reassigned anywhere. So many other places where lightweight objects could be used. So Ratchet, how's your day going? Are you still planning on streaming C++ things later? I totally should have been there when you were doing it yesterday, except I think I was like playing video games or something and did not look at Discord until 5 hours later. Huh. These are all undefined. For reasons I do not understand. Why are those all getting set to undefined? Yesterday you did less C++ and more futile yet another markup language. Wait. Okay. Never mind. I know why. Argument order. Haha. That should solve the problem. There were several problems happening there, and I think I tracked down the last one. through Kaitai struct. Is that a YAML parser for C++ or something? It's supposed to be a binary format descriptor thing. That's like the opposite of YAML. YAML is plain text. Are we thinking of different YAMLs? And now I am... Okay. That's nice. Maybe instead of changing the argument order, it uses YAML to generate router code. Oh, I see. So YAML is the template. I can see where that's going to get fun. That sounds like almost what I decided was a good idea for reasons unknown. Part of this data format in several places involves like generating, storing the order that data is stored, and reading that, using that to read it out in the future, and it's lovely. You're going down the rabbit hole of designing your own because Kaitai doesn't have all the features you want. That's how it always goes. That's the mark of a true software engineer. YouTube. I'm noticing the I've given up trying to do anything about it, but I'm noticing the severity of the dropped frame little episodes is getting worse. Like before, it was dropping frames at like a rate of about 2% on average, and then it started creeping up to like 6 and 7, and now it's 8 and change. Okay. This time I've flattened out all the problems, I swear. No funny business here, good sir. I noticed that the 3DS camera hasn't frozen in a little while. That's cool. And it is loading and then crashes because... Okay. You're going down the rabbit hole of designing your own. I read that already. Right now I'm battling with Flex/Bison and thinking of just doing the visual scripting way because it's easier. What are you using exactly? What are you doing? I have a weird love for visual scripting even though I never use it. By the way, did I already get rid of... I did already get rid of Event Node Custom. You're thinking of designing your own node system? That's always a fun time. More dropped frames. Hooray. I could certainly give you some ideas. Probably not ideas that you want to actually take, but you have ideas for a written intermediate language. I could also, this isn't something I've done, but I could send you some resources on that because I've, Yellow Afterlife of GameMaker fame, if you know him, has done a lot of work with interpreters, and I could send you some of the stuff he's written about them. have an idea of what this is about. What were some of the changes that I made to this right here? In load events. Maybe contracting this wasn't such a spectacular idea. Okay, so it's going to need the ID either way. So that's didn't turn out to be useful. And also that comment's a lie, and or outdated. So next, gonna have to go the long way around and generate a universal ID for these things. Oh, it's already got that. Alright, well, that's nice. Saves me the trouble of coming up with a new one. Also, Ratchet, if you want a fun story about the universal ID things, they used to be integers, and then I decided to make them strings because they would be slightly more flexible that way, and I'm never doing math on them anyway, I'm just using them as a lookup. And converting the old system of integers to the new system of strings was a fun afternoon, evening, and the next morning sized ordeal. I forget if I lamented that one at you before or not. Please load, and also not only load, but like, actually execute the cutscenes without crashing. I'm probably done with this, right? Does this even need to return anything? Alright, here we are. We are loading, and okay. Excellent. As an added bonus... Oh, nice. At least part of the database works. Am I allowed to... Yeah, that's the other way to describe it. Does the inventory actually work also? So the database isn't a complete mangled mess inside. That's nice. We'll see if it can still say the same later. Battles are gonna make it explode, isn't it? Yeah, the battles made it explode. Okay, so that is having to do with some problems with drawing the sprites. All right, I will deal with that. You know what? I'm not gonna end this here. I'm gonna keep working on that. I probably know what the deal with this is. I still had battle render contestant old. I should probably get rid of that one of these days. Line 21-ish. Okay. I'm not actually assigning it the sprite. Anything else? Any other ones where I'm accidentally not assigning the sprite? And should be? It's probably safe to get rid of this, right? Don't think that that safeguard has been useful for a while now. That's good. This has to be good because otherwise it wouldn't work at all. Same deal as the picture here thing, whatever. This has not been loaded at all, right? Okay, no need to deal with the individual images thing there. Otherwise, it wouldn't work at all. And tile sets are handled slightly differently. Yeah, okay. That should be better, right? If battles work, I'll be 1, amazed, and 2, probably leave it here for today. I'll probably do the rest of this off stream because this has probably overstayed its welcome a bit. Not as many people were cycling in and out much more quickly than before, and I think this is just not as interesting to watch if I don't have anything to say. Which after 2 hours, I generally probably won't. Next time I will. What do I still need to do next time? Doing entities, like game object entities, physical things in the world, should be a little more interesting. There's going to be, okay, so the battles load and draw properly. This is more exciting than your streams. Ratchet, stop being so hard on yourself, God. There are fewer. There's going to be less like repetitive stuff when dealing with I can close that now. There's going to be less like repetition when dealing with game object entities, and the work that's going to be involved should probably have me going into more places in code than just opening a million files and copying and pasting. We'll see. You usually don't even have a mic on. Oh. Yeah. That's a concern. I was up at like 1 in the morning talking to some people on the GameMaker Discord about 2.3 a few days ago. I had to learn how to whisper on the fly because I'm usually bad at that. All right, to whoever is here, thank you for coming, Ratchet. I will talk nerd stuff with you later, I'm sure. I'll probably do this again tomorrow. I might take a break from doing this tomorrow, maybe Tuesday or whatever the day after that is. All right, have fun making games and all that other stuff. Where's the button that will have this end?